Type 1 diabetes is a chronic condition that affects the insulin-making cells of the pancreas. Whether you're looking for answers for yourself or someone you love, we are here to give you the best information available.
At 25, Maria stepped onto an international flight for the first time as a type 1 diabetic and got almost everything wrong. Her insulin was packed in checked luggage. A doctor's letter was never requested. A cooling case? Didn't own one. And not a single travel companion knew about the condition she couldn't go a day without managing. Luckily, Maria survived the trip. But every airport, every customs line, every unfamiliar meal carried the same quiet hum of anxiety and made the whole thing far harder than it ever needed to be. 20 years and more than 40 countries later, that anxiety is gone. Not because she stopped planning, just the opposite, but because she finally figured out what to plan for, what actually matters, and what you can simply let go of. This guide is all of it. Everything learned the hard way, laid out the way Maria wishes someone had handed it over 2 decades ago. Stay tuned until the end, because this video is everything you were looking for to make traveling with diabetes as easy as it can possibly get. Hope you enjoy! First things first, see your doctor at least 3 weeks before you go. This is the single most important thing on the list, and it's worth making an appointment for even if you're between regular checkups. A pre-travel appointment gives you the opportunity to confirm your diabetes is well managed before you leave, update any prescriptions, discuss insulin or medication, dose adjustments for different activity levels or climates, get any destination-specific advice, update vaccinations if traveling internationally, ask for a diabetes travel letter. Speaking of travel letters, now it's time for you to get your diabetes travel letter. A travel letter from your doctor listing all your medications, devices, and supplies is one of the most practical things you can carry. It isn't legally required for domestic U.S. flights, but it smooths out security interactions, helps enormously at international customs, and is invaluable in a medical emergency abroad where you need to communicate your treatment quickly. At a minimum, your letter should include your diagnosis, a complete list of medications and dosages, all devices, pump, CGM, meter, a statement of medical necessity and your doctor's contact details, travel insurance, non-negotiable. Standard travel insurance often excludes pre-existing conditions. For diabetics, this means any diabetes-related medical claim, including emergencies, can be denied if you haven't found the right policy. You need a policy that explicitly covers pre-existing conditions, includes emergency medical treatment for diabetes complications, covers lost or stolen medication and equipment, and has a 24/7 international assistance helpline. The key distinction to understand is that acute onset coverage covers sudden emergencies. Full pre-existing condition coverage is broader and covers ongoing management. For type 1 diabetics on insulin, the latter is generally more appropriate. Pack your complete diabetes kit. The golden rule: bring at least double what you think you'll need, then add a bit more. Flight delays, extended trips, lost bags, and damaged supplies. Any of these can leave you short at the worst possible time. The Essential Diabetes Travel Kit. All medications like insulin, GLP-1 injectables, oral medications, metformin and others, injection supplies, pens, needles, syringes, alcohol swabs, medical-grade cooling case for temperature-sensitive medications, blood glucose meter and test strips, or CGM with spare sensors, and transmitter insulin pump supplies if applicable, infusion sets, reservoirs, backup batteries, emergency glucagon kit if applicable, fast-acting glucose, glucose tablets, gel sachets, small juice cartons, medical ID bracelet or tag travel letter, and prescription copies, travel insurance documentation, travel-size sharps container for used needles if applicable, basic first aid kit, antiseptic, sterile dressings, blister care. Split your supplies across 2 bags. If traveling with a companion, split it between their bag and yours. And remember, never put all your medications in checked luggage. You need some with you. Getting through the airport with your medical supplies. Airport security with diabetes is more straightforward than most people expect once you know the rules. In the United States, the TSA explicitly allows all diabetes supplies in carry-on luggage. The key rules, medications and injectables. Insulin, Ozempic, Mounjaro, Trulicity, and all other injectable medications are exempt from standard liquid limits. You can carry them in quantities greater than 3.4 ounces, but declare them at the checkpoint and keep them separate for easy inspection. Needles and syringes. Allowed in, carry on with the medication they accompany. Used needles must be in a Sharps container. Cooling cases and ice packs. TSA-approved gel ice packs and cooling cases are permitted in carry-on. Frozen gel packs are allowed if they remain frozen at security. Glucose tablets and snacks, allowed without restriction. You can also carry juice boxes and other fast-acting glucose sources as a medical necessity. The most important rule, keep everything in the carry-on. Never put insulin, GLP-1 medications, or any other temperature-sensitive or critical medications or medical supply in checked luggage. Cargo hold temperatures can drop below freezing or rise dangerously, and lost luggage happens. Flying with an insulin pump or CGM. Insulin pumps and CGMs require some additional thought at airport security. Insulin pumps. Most manufacturers recommend against exposing pumps to full-body scanners and some X-ray machines. When you reach the checkpoint, tell the TSA officer you're wearing an insulin pump and request a manual pat-down instead of the scanner. TSA cannot require you to remove the pump. Most CGMs can go through standard X-ray screening, but always check your specific device manufacturer's guidelines, as recommendations vary. If in doubt, request a manual inspection. The American Diabetes Association has a helpful guide on your rights at airport security, including the optional TSA disability notification card. Keeping your diabetes medications safe throughout the journey. Temperature management is one of the most practical and most overlooked aspects of traveling with diabetes. Insulin and GLP-1 medications are proteins. They degrade when exposed to heat, freezing, or direct sunlight, often without showing any visible change. The temperature rules for diabetes injections. Insulin. Unopened pens and vials should be refrigerated at 36 to 46 degrees Fahrenheit. Once opened, most insulins can be kept at room temperature below 77 degrees Fahrenheit for up to 28 days depending on brand. GLP-1 medications. Ozempic can stay at room temperature for up to 56 days below 86 degrees Fahrenheit. Mounjaro can stay up to 21 days below 86 degrees Fahrenheit. Trulicity can stay up to 14 days below 86 degrees Fahrenheit. Victoza is good up to 30 days below 86 degrees Fahrenheit. The critical rule for all injectables: never expose it to heat, never freeze, never leave in a parked car, never expose to direct sunlight for extended periods. Choosing the right diabetes travel cooler for day trips and short travel in mild conditions. A basic insulated pouch provides adequate protection for in-use insulin at temperatures below 77 degrees Fahrenheit. For hot climates and summer travel, an evaporative cooling case, like the chillers, which works without electricity or ice for 45+ hours, maintaining safe temperatures regardless of ambient heat. For multi-day travel with refrigerated insulin or GLP-1s, a medical-grade refrigerated travel case like the Nomad or Explorer maintains true fridge temperatures, 36 to 46 degrees Fahrenheit, for up to 33 to 72 hours depending on the model. In cold weather, keep medications close to your body in an inner pocket. Insulin freezes at 32 degrees Fahrenheit, and frozen insulin is permanently ruined even after thawing. Medical coolers like the Pioneer Pro have a double function that heats up when it gets too cold. Managing blood sugar while traveling. This is where traveling with diabetes gets genuinely complex, because every variable changes at once. Your meal timing shifts, your activity level is different, your stress hormones are elevated, your sleep is disrupted, and you're eating foods you've never calculated carbs for before. For type 1 diabetics, management during travel requires active adjustments, not just maintaining your usual routine. Check more frequently. On travel days and for the first day or two at any new destination, I check every 2 to 3 hours rather than my usual schedule. Too many variables are in play to rely on pattern recognition alone. Expect the unexpected. The same dish prepared in a different country can hit your blood sugar completely differently. Japanese white rice spikes me faster than almost anything else. Italian pasta al dente behaves far more gently than the same pasta cooked soft at home. Indian dal varies wildly depending on the type of lentils and cooking method. Approach unfamiliar food with curiosity rather than anxiety. Start with a slightly conservative dose and correct later if needed. Activity changes everything. Walking through a new city for 8 hours is vastly different from your normal day. Most type 1 diabetics need significantly less basal insulin on high-activity travel days. Discuss a framework for adjusting with your doctor before you go. The delayed hypoglycemia trap. After particularly active days, like a long hike or extensive sightseeing, blood sugar can drop significantly hours later, often at night, as muscles continue replenishing glycogen stores. Eat a proper meal with protein and fat after active days. Run slightly higher blood sugar targets overnight. And check before bed for type 2 diabetics. It's important to note that not all type 2 diabetics use insulin. And for those on oral medications alone, travel is generally more straightforward. But there are still important considerations. GLP-1 users, Ozempic, Mounjaro, Trulicity, Victoza, and similar medications are temperature sensitive and require the same careful storage and travel planning as insulin. Side effects, particularly nausea, can be amplified by travel stress, motion sickness, and unusual foods. Start with shorter trips as you find your management rhythm. Metformin users. Metformin alone doesn't typically cause hypoglycemia, making travel lower risk. However, stay well hydrated. Dehydration and metformin are a combination worth avoiding. At altitude or during very strenuous activity, discuss with your doctor before travel. Sulfonylurea users. Sulfonylureas stimulate insulin production regardless of blood sugar level, creating real hypoglycemia risk during unusual activity or disrupted meals. Treat pre-trip preparation the same way an insulin user would. Carry fast-acting glucose, monitor regularly, and have a plan for unexpected lows. SGLT2 inhibitors. These medications increase urinary glucose excretion and can cause dehydration more readily, particularly in hot climates or during long flights. Drink more water than usual. Alcohol and the things that catch you off guard. Food. Research your destination's food culture before you arrive, not when you're hungry at the restaurant. Online diabetes forums are the best resource for this. Real people sharing real blood sugar outcomes from specific dishes in specific countries is more useful than any general guide. Alcohol, particularly wine and spirits, can cause delayed hypoglycemia hours after drinking, often while you're asleep. Abroad, where you're more likely to drink with meals and sleep in an unfamiliar environment, this is a real risk. Always eat a full meal alongside alcohol and consider a larger than usual pre-bed snack and a slightly higher overnight blood sugar target. Heat. High temperatures increase insulin absorption significantly. In very hot climates, insulin works faster and lasts less time. Reduce basal rates slightly in the first few days in a hot climate and watch overnight numbers carefully. International travel with diabetes, the extra layer. Domestic travel with diabetes is manageable with the basics above. International travel adds customs, import regulations, language barriers, and unfamiliar healthcare systems to the picture. A diabetes travel letter becomes genuinely important, not optional, for international trips. For non-English speaking destinations, a translated version is worth the extra effort. Keep both printed and digital copies of your diabetes travel letter, prescriptions for all medications, travel insurance policy with emergency contact number, list of your medications with generic names, brand names differ by country, sourcing diabetes supplies abroad, research pharmacy availability at your destination before you go. Insulin is available in most countries, but brand names, formulations, and even concentrations differ. Some countries use U40 insulin rather than the U100 standard in the US and Europe. An important distinction that requires different syringe sizing. If you run out of or lose supplies abroad, go to a hospital first. They will have insulin and will treat you regardless of documentation. This is always the right call in an emergency. Flying long haul. The specific challenges. When you have diabetes, long-haul flights present a concentrated version of every challenge diabetes travel involves. Unusual meal timing, disrupted sleep, changes in activity, time zone shifts, and hours in a pressurized cabin where access to food and movement is limited. Before the flight, check blood sugar at the gate. Aim for slightly higher than your usual target as a buffer. Have fast-acting glucose in your pocket, not your overhead bag. Brief the flight attendant at boarding that you have diabetes and may need assistance in an emergency. Confirm your cooling case is functioning and your medications are accessible. During the flight, check every 2 hours or monitor continuously with CGM cabin. Air is dehydrating. Drink water consistently throughout the flight. Airline meals arrive when they arrive. Carry your own food to supplement or replace if timing doesn't work for your management. When things go wrong, having a plan. Traveling long enough with diabetes means encountering situations you didn't plan for. The key is having a framework before you leave, not trying to figure it out in the moment. If you run out of insulin or medication while traveling, call your pharmacy first. They may be able to coordinate with a local pharmacy. Try telemedicine for an emergency prescription. Go to any hospital. They will have insulin. In the US, Reliant brand human insulin is available over the counter at Walmart for around $25 as a genuine last resort. If your insulin or medication gets damaged or compromised, replace it immediately if you can. Continuing to use insulin you know has been heat damaged or frozen risks, persistent high blood sugar, and potentially diabetic ketoacidosis, DKA. Use your travel insurance to cover replacement costs if you have a severe hypoglycemic episode. This is why glucagon is on the packing list. The ADA recommends the 15-15 rule for treating hypoglycemia: 15 grams of fast-acting carbohydrates, wait 15 minutes, and recheck. If you're with someone, they should know where the glucagon is and how to use it. If you need emergency medical care abroad, call your travel insurer's 24/7 helpline immediately. They can direct you to appropriate facilities, arrange direct payment, and coordinate care. This is why travel insurance documentation needs to be on your phone, not just in a confirmation email.
Managing diabetes while traveling involves a constant background process: monitoring, adjusting, anticipating, and responding. This is real, and it takes energy. And here we have reached the end of this guide. Hope you guys learned something new and enjoyed watching this video. If you made it until the end, please like and subscribe to not miss future episodes, as this channel covers everything when it comes to traveling and storing precious medications the right way. Remember to give our website a visit. It is linked in the description. You will find amazing tools to store your meds properly, and also our blogs are full of knowledge to help you navigate your condition and simplify stuff. Because life is beautiful, and we are here to uncover its wonders. See you in the next video. Until then, stay cool and limitless.